Hello, guys. Welcome to Kay's Corner, where positive vibes transform lives. Join me on a journey of empowerment and embrace your full potential. So, during this video, the topic is technically a part two to my previous video. If you haven't seen it yet, is how they impact beliefs and programmings. And this is part two, how they impact, and we're going to be talking about fear, disbelief, and worry. So, stay tuned. So this will be a brief video just talking about the impact of fear, belief, and worry. And if you've been following my channel, I have talked briefly about how they impact you. Fear, what I like to talk about first is fear is the opposite of faith, right? When you worry, when you fear, when you have disbelief, it's the opposite of faith. So as I spoke before in my previous videos about the universal law of polarity, everything has its opposites. So what does that mean? The closer you are to one, the farther you are from the other. So when you are close to worry, close to disbelief, close to fear, you're farther away from its opposite. So what you want to do through meditation, affirmations, chakra work, yoga, all these things, prayer, all these things, you want to get closer to faith and just remain faithful, hopeful, and anticipating the best outcome, right? Like when you do things, attach an emotion to it. Attach an emotion to not the reality of things, right? Like not the diagnosis, not what the scale says, not what this says, or not what you see, right? I'm going to continue to speak about being a slave to your five senses: touch, hear, smell, taste, and see. It's important to not just believe everything that you see, and have more belief in your desire. Maybe your desire isn't in the physical and material world, but it could come to pass if you believe. Okay, so we're going to talk about how letting go of fear could help you. Okay, so briefly, fear, disbelief, and worry are all negative emotions and thought patterns that can limit our potential and hinder our well being. Okay, so if you think about this, these beliefs hinder what you want, who you want to become, what desire you want to achieve. It'll hinder it, right? Because you're going to have a fear of making that next step, a fear of breakup and being alone, a fear of abandonment, a fear of or a worry of financial constriction when you leave this job or when you seek on better opportunities, a fear of the unknown. A lot of us fear the unknown. That's why a child can go to bed, and because they don't see what's under the bed or they don't see what's in their closet, they fear it. And the analogy that I always give my clients are, your imagination is so real that, like a child, you could cry and sweat and scream and worry and have anxiety and have trembles because you have a belief, right, that there's a monster in the closet. So a child can attach emotions to something just in their imagination, because you go, as a parent, you go in there, you look in their closet, there's nothing there. But it's the fear of the unknown. And by the way, we're just wired like that, right? We're wired like that due to evolution. So that same thing occurs to us as adults, right? It's the fear of the unknown. The monster in a closet turns into financial, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical aspects of our lives. Okay, so I will teach you guys why it's crucial to overcome them. And the first one is, as soon as you overcome your fear, your worry, and your disbelief, you have a freedom to act. Okay, and what that means is that fear, disbelief, and worry paralyze us. So it really puts a barrier of prevention for the next step. Okay, you stay stagnant when you have fears, and it prevents us from really taking the actions towards our dreams. Okay, well, what if I don't get clients? Well, what if I don't make this enough money? Or what if I don't? Okay, all those what ifs create fears. Okay, letting go means pursuing opportunities and living more authentically. Okay, so you have to let go. Acknowledge that it's there. Okay, you have to treat fear, worry, and disbelief as an enemy that's there to take over. Okay, you see the enemy that it's there. You can't ignore it. A lot of people be like, "Oh, well, just ignore it." It's hard when the emotions are real, right? It's hard when you are overthinking. It's hard when you're getting obsessional thoughts and intrusive thoughts, right? It's hard. That is very real. So what I say is don't just push it under the carpet, because what you're going to do is you're going to begin to disassociate. You really don't want that. It's not really a healthy coping skill. So acknowledge it. It's there. I have a fear of this. Explore that fear. Okay. It's my imagination, just like the monster in the closet. It's my imagination. It's not there yet. Let me live for right now and call it a day. And that is how you let go, and then you seek on the opportunity. You just keep going. Okay. Second is improve mental health. When you have, I always tell my clients, if you're having this, right? If you're having fear, if you're having worry, etc., the opposite of it is faith. Okay. So if you could have more faith in that same situation, so you lost a job, have faith you'll get a new one, right? Don't have faith in that your lights are going to get cut off, you're going to get evicted, you're going to be in a homeless shelter. Don't have faith in that. If you're going to use doubt to your benefit, doubt that that's going to happen. Doubt the negative outcome. Okay. So fear, disbelief, and worry all leads to anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. Overcoming them, okay, and this is the reward. I'm teaching you the pros and the cons of having these things. So overcoming them provides a peace of mind and emotional resilience, which is what you need on a daily basis to, enjoy life. Third is enhanced problem solving. I've said this in my previous videos. Enhanced problem solving helps you make better decisions for the future. Removing them provides clarity and resourcefulness. So that's very important. If you continue to have that fear, that worry, that disbelief, it clouds judgment. And we see this all the time. When you're in a state of fight or flight, are you really thinking? No. What is leading that is emotion. What is leading your next habits, conduct, behaviors is emotions. So getting rid of that will help you get that clarity that you need. And yeah. The fourth one is better relationships. Fear, disbelief, and worry strain relationships. You become overly cautious, defensive, or withdraw. So that's not healthy for anybody, because again, just like the last video, you will tend to isolate. The faster you get rid of your anxieties, the faster you will be healthier and more authentic and build connections with others. So again, it's very similar to my last video. This video, I'm just going more into depth on what you can do to get rid of these, the disbelief, the worry, and the fear. You get increased confidence, and I might do a separate video on increasing your confidence, because that is a more deep-rooted thing. It really comes from childhood and your experiences. So I might make another video on that alone. But when you are operating in disbelief and fear, it understand that it's you first. You don't believe in yourself first. And then that is just projected on the outside world, on the in the physical realm, in the material world, right? So getting rid of these fears, getting rid of the disbelief, the worry, all the anxiety will provide courage and determination. Again, for anything. This is for goals. This is for your life in general. And the last one is heightened resilience. I'll always talk about this almost in every video. The ability to bounce back from adversity and setbacks. When you have fears, the way you perceive things is when something sets you back, you start to have fear and worry that then it'll never stop. It keeps going. Every year is something. Every month is something. If it's not this, it's that, right? That is coming. You're stating those things. You're almost manifesting those things through your words because that is your belief. You're operating on fear, disbelief, and worry. Overcoming them, you will be better equipped to navigate negative challenges with grace and perseverance. Okay, so that's important because you will tend to have more patience and grace, not only with your setbacks, but with yourself, right? You will be able to reflect a little bit more, which is going to create that resilience, which is going to create that forgiveness of self. So these are little tips and tricks on getting rid of that worry and the benefits of it. And the reason why I'm talking about the benefits is because I want everyone to understand that everything is paid for, okay? And people think that I'm talking about financial. You don't pay for things just financially. You pay physically, you pay emotionally, you pay mentally. That is the consequence of lack of change. If you don't change these things, you have to pay for it. And sometimes you pay for it with compromising your mental health, which I will always preach and advocate that nothing, not a job, not a relationship, not a friendship, nothing should compromise your mental health. So how do you really get rid of fear and disbelief and worry? Simple. If you want a second video, I might do a second video on this, but it's very simple. It's have faith. Have faith. Again, use manifestation, use self-hypnosis, use chakra alignment, all of this stuff. Like, you could read up on these things. I will eventually give more resources on it. You could go on YouTube, look it up. Prayer, whatever it is that will build that hope is what I want you to engage in. Because again, when you have doubt, fear, and disbelief, then you have to suffer the consequences. And the majority of the time, it's your mental health. It's your emotional and mental state. So what is it? What can you do to combat it? I literally think that the cure of anxiety is having faith. Having faith that when you're thinking about this negative thing in your life, having faith that it's either already better and you can just start thanking God, thanking the universe that this situation's already better. I already know that it's up from here. I've already hit rock bottom. Not saying I hit rock bottom, there's nothing left of me, whatever. No. You say, okay, I hit rock bottom. It can only be up from here. I know I'm going to have prosperity, wealth, abundance, health, all of these things. Okay? So having faith in the outcome that you desire and doubting. So if you're going to use doubt that the negative outcomes are going to happen to you. Okay? Doubt that. Doubt that the worst case scenario is going to happen to you. Okay. Doubt that. Use doubt to your advantage. How do you control obsessional and intrusive thoughts? I say one thing that I read in a book by Bruce Goldberg. You can literally meditate. And what Bruce Goldberg kind of talked about is having an outer body experience and going back to your past and changing everything to the accordance that you would have preferred it to be. Sometimes people don't have that technique to do it, but what I could say is kind of think about that situation, think about how you wanted it to be, and just live that narrative. Live as if that is what happened. And it's not you creating a delusion or anything like that. You know the reality, right? But more acting is so as if it happened the way you actually wanted it to happen, and not really just acting on the way it actually did happen. Why? Because that isn't helpful. So using any resource and tools that is helpful for you without adopting negative coping skills, drugs, disassociation, and all these things that really create a delusion instead of just accepting things for what they are and what they've become, and moving forward from that. Again, picking back on the resilience building, like this is what's going to build that resilience. Okay, so for more tips, I'm gonna always be talking about how to reframe our mind to positivity and how we could be our own biggest cheerleaders. So follow me next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share and comment. And I love you guys so much. Have a great day and be prosperous, be happy, be at peace, and accept the abundance that the universe has for you. Bye.